it you or me?
I'll intro it. We never get technical difficulties at all.
Sorry, it's been always you. That's my bad.
we all froze. Welcome back to the Strompcast, episode 262, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We just have the one game to talk about today, but we'll take it. It was a nail-biting 3-1 victory. I'm joined by my two main men. No Sam today, but I am joined first by my fellow Canuck, Danny. How you doing today?
Feeling good. It's been a while since I've been on the pod, boys. So I'm glad to be back again.
Life
Work
happens.
has been annoying, but and I swear I'm not only back when we win. I kind of wanted to talk about the poor results too, but here we are, I guess. Long may it continue, by the way. But yeah, feeling great.
Good stuff. And then I'm also joined by the main man, Chris, as well. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I actually didn't realize that the Benfica game that got pushed back was this weekend. So I kept checking to see what their result was, and I was like, "When the fuck are they playing?" And then it just never happened. And then I was like, "Wow, okay, I guess we're sleeping in first all week."
All this just for them to lose, just for them to be their daddies again, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if Gil Vicente was coerced or if there's rules about playing games in certain time frames or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure they'll be repaid in some way.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we got the 3 points. Obviously, probably more sketchy than it needed to be. Very similar to the AVS game. Things really took a turn in the last 10 minutes. Which did not need to happen. But it was good to see certain things, such as Gyökeres appearing the fittest he's been in recent times, almost getting hurt again. But he did play the whole time and keep going, so that was a good sign. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, that was a very close game. Yeah, I too had forgot about the Benfica's Gil Vicente game being rescheduled because of the cup. Well, because Gil Vicente had the cup game on Thursday, and then Benfica had a Champions League game today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of see why they had to kind of shenanigan the schedule a little bit. It happened to us last year too, did it not? There was a game that was fog or something with competition.
That was Famalicão. That was something with the cops or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, that was
they decided to strike on one game and one game only.
Yeah, they didn't have any cops at the Famalicão game. I forgot.
That's different. That wasn't Famalicão giving us a favor. That was
they just didn't
the
show
cops
up.
trying to fuck us over.
That was people just didn't show up to work that day.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about that. But yeah, I can kind of see why they had to postpone and reschedule that game. That makes sense. Anyways, we got our game to focus on, though, as I get ready to pull up goal point.
We played this weekend.
Because,
no Europe to worry about for us.
No Europe to worry about for these guys. So we get into the starting lineups as follows for Sporting: Rui Silva in goal, Ousmane Diomande playing in center defense, along with Gonçalo Inácio, who had a goal, and Ricardo Esgaio, who might be a secret weapon.
The GOAT.
Ricardo Esgaio is GOAT right there.
I don't think he was the Sport TV man of the match, but he was the SCT man of the match.
He was the man of the match in our hearts.
Which may have been a rigged vote, but nonetheless.
He was
other than Inácio getting the top mark in that back line is a fucking miracle in itself. Inácio only has that because he scored.
Did they post a photo of him with the trophy or the premio?
God, I hope so.
I don't think they did, because I probably would have reposted it if I saw it.
I mean,
because the man of the match was Gyökeres.
Yeah,
for the league. Yeah. Sporting's man of the match. We know who they're going
to. You might not actually get. I feel like you do get a premio for that, like a physical item
from the club. Who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We may never know. Lineup continues as Mateus Reis and Ivan Fresneda. Midfield of De Bas and Felicimu. Jesus Christ, that is a really, really jerry-rigged midfield. And then front three of Giovanni Kenda, Trincao, El Professor, and Thick Vic with 2 goals today. El Professor. Imagine being 18 and your nickname is El Professor. That's crazy work. Insane work. Chris, I'll start with you. What did you make of this game? What stood out to you the most?
Honestly, great shout. The Bast, bro, is he's kind of got the techers in him, low key.
Got some swaz on him.
He was a 10 in his academy days.
Maybe
which is crazy.
Remember at the beginning of the season when he was like kind of atrocious?
Yeah.
At center back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if he plays better there, truthfully, that's where we need bodies the most right now.
Yeah.
So imagine if we didn't have him, it'd be even worse. The midfield's already jerry-rigged. I thought El Profesor held his own perfectly. Calm, did his thing. We've kind of just grown accustomed to Fresneda just like putting in passable performance after passable performance. Which I'm gonna be honest, I'm certainly taking it for granted, and I feel like we all kind of are in general taking it for granted because as recently as like 4 months ago, he was like not really playable.
Yeah.
So that's been a massive development. I don't, he might have had a great game today. Like if Fresneda doesn't kind of step up and fill that role this season, like who's playing out there consistently? Jenny's been hurt. We would be seeing a lot more as Gaio out there, I imagine. Maybe like Arujo gets thrown on the other side sometimes. I don't know. We're certainly thin at a lot of positions, it feels like, and the squad's already stretched so thin, but
as it is,
we're pulling new bodies from the reserves, guys that are probably supposed to be still like 2 years away or starting.
2 years? Are they 2 years? But are they 2 years away from being 2 years away? To anybody who gets that reference.
Bruno Caboclo.
Yeah, so people are getting opportunities. They're making the most of it. It's not Clay Silva's fault that they scored, but he has stepped up recently. It's not amazing from him, certainly. It's not his greatest effort, you could say. Maybe some of it is on him, but conceding at the near post. But it's a tidy finish, and he has stepped up for us in a big way, which like has helped get us to this point anyways. We were all over them. They were actually kind of they came to play, I'll say that much, right? With their Scottish manager or whatever, they came to play, so I will respect that. They did not just park the bus and try to just shit house the 0-0 or some shit.
They played with big balls, to be fair.
They came to play. They carved out some opportunities, predominantly in the second half. But they had some possession. They had some chances in the first half. We certainly had some big moments as well that I was kind of shocked that Gyökeres didn't put one of those away earlier. But it worked out for him in the end. It's a deserved 3 points, but there's a reason this team's in 7th or whatever. Already guaranteed safety, and they're looking at Europe.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Danny, I'll pass it off to you. What did you make of this game and why?
Yeah, no, same with Chris. They're a good team. They played well against us too. I think in the first half, like Chris was mentioning just now, Gyökeres could have had like at least 2 already. I wonder how much of that is just the rustiness because he hasn't been playing as often as in the past, right?
Yeah.
Especially that one-on-one where it was, I think, Felicimo with that pass. I could be wrong. It could have been the Bast. The Bast has been, I mean, he's been great since Rui Borges, and especially since I would say over the last 4 or 5 games, he's been consistently one of our better players. I low-key think he might have found the home in midfield. I mean, like I just mentioned, he's been a 10 an Anderlecht's academy, moved back to center back. Not saying that he hasn't been great at center back. He hasn't had his moments at center back with us, but he's also had some blunders there as well. I also wonder if Rui Borges would have played him in this back three if we had more bodies in midfield. That would have been an interesting thing
Maybe
instead of Ishkayu. But also he's been playing so well at center mid that I wonder if he would even touch that, because moving forward, I mean, Hillman's expected to come back soon if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I think he was just suspended if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
suspended and
exactly,
nagging. Suspended and he did have a nagging injury.
I think
I know
should be
Morita's coming back too.
Should be back too. Yeah.
Morita should be back.
If the newspapers are to be believed.
Yes, that is true. Exactly.
True.
And if you ask me, with those three backlets or with those two coming back, I would still have my midfield of Hillman and DeBast right now. I wouldn't put in Morita yet. And depending on how well he plays, when he does come back, we ride DeBast, because the first goal, beautiful. I mean, I can't remember the last time we've scored off like a set play. I know it was off the head.
It's not very
common
often.
with us. And DeBast with the perfect ball.
It was nice. It was nice to get an early goal.
He has that like attribute in him with the shots, because we've seen it multiple times. He could have actually had a goal from outside the box again today.
Yeah.
Obviously he had one against Gil Vicente. So he's. I think. Long story short, I think he's found the home in midfield, and I think we continue to ride him, especially when we have enough bodies and we play four at the back, like Rui Borges likes to play. I don't think it would hurt us if we played the Bast there. And then have a more attacking midfielder up front, right? Edu, like you said, Chris, I thought he played really well. I liked Edu this game. I liked Brito the last few games. I'm actually upset that Brito got injured too. Whatever fucking curse we have on us, we need it lifted ASAP, because those two kids, plus the other kid, João Simões, you know what I mean? Like, these kids are coming in and playing really, really well. So good signs for the future, good signs in terms of rotation. I know we should get a midfielder in the summer, maybe even two midfielders in the summer, but with how well these kids are playing, maybe just the one is needed to replace Morita. Maybe we don't even need to replace Morita. We get somebody else in a different sort of mold.
Bragança will be out half the season, so
true.
Bragança, so I think you do get. I do think you
for sure. We should get a midfielder, at least one midfielder. But these kids are stepping up. These kids are stepping up, and
absolutely. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Inácio plays really well. I can't say enough about Inácio Diomande. I have to give him his flowers. People don't talk about him enough.
No WWE moments in this one.
No WWE moments.
No.
They must have got 2 days off again. So this is working with Rui Borges. Matheus Reis, I have to say it again. He's been playing really great. And it hasn't been a lot of crosses from him, but the one out of like 3 crosses he makes will at least reach the box. I'm cool with that. It's usually 0 for 3 or 0 for 4. He's 1 for 3 nowadays. I'm cool with that. Defensively, he gives us something. Offensively, he played really well. He's a workhorse too.
Yeah,
I think he's underrated in terms of how much of a workhorse he is for us, whether it's center back or left back, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Kinda's falling off a bit. Trincão has been falling off a bit, but
how much of that is them, and how much of that is they're just tired though?
Tired,
right?
For sure. I'm with you there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And has been reading the Daily Mail linking him to United
for 30 mil or something like that.
For 25 million. He said, no. He looked at that report and went, "Not today." Nope.
Yeah. We'll get into the Kazush after Richard gives his synopsis, of course.
Of course.
My only other thing that I want to say is how bad is BL for José Silva to play? Also, in my opinion, where the hell was Alfonso Moreira? I thought that was the perfect opportunity to sub him in. José Silva, bless him, he's young as well. He came in, I wasn't really impressed. But how bad is BL if he's not coming in for some minutes? Not even for 10 minutes.
All he gets is 10 minutes.
He's a 10-minute man.
Actually, he got like 30.
He got like 30 in the championship.
Yeah. Like the game that just did not matter at all.
Exactly. And he didn't even show out at all.
No.
I'm listen, this is early and I hope to be proven wrong, and I'm not trying to like get
he
on
feels just like a 6-minute panic. Fuck it.
Bro,
yeah.
He feels like he's gonna be worse than Arturo Gomes.
At this point, like 6 mil for like random Brazilian league players is like low,
Yeah. He might
but
have that
6 mil. We could have
dog.
spent that 6 mil on
And
like,
that's
somebody proven in
January
the
too,
Portuguese
bro. So like he's probably more worth like 3, 4.
like 3, 4. Yeah.
four
Last
and a
day
half.
of the market.
Bro, that
if I'm not
is
mistaken,
not any sort of fucking guarantee. If you're spending 3
Yeah,
mil
he
on
might-
a guy from Brazil, like that is
Danny, you might be
nothing, sadly.
Yeah, Danny might
Yeah.
be onto something. He might not. He might have that lack of dog in him.
Well, honestly, maybe you just let him play with
100%,
the B team then, so he at least gets
Yeah.
minutes. bro.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, give him
that's
minutes.
a horrible look because
Yeah.
Yes, but
He's
he wouldn't be
not
the first,
clearly
and
he's not if
last.
he's not getting minutes in the squad right now when the
Yeah.
squad is like 40% injured, like
It's decimated.
maybe he's
Bro,
coming
it's
back
bad
from an
news.
injury as well. It
Is
could
he
also be
hurt
that
too?
he has been injury prone in Brazil. That was the reports when we were first
oh
up by
man.
him. But we were linked to who else were we linked to before getting him? We were linked
I don't
to the
remember.
kid at Ladia. Maybe
Oh,
we should have went for him, bro.
Ladia guy
Who
would
is-
have
Would have been less
cheaper.
pressure, cheaper.
Oh,
He was doing it
Yeah.
in Portugal already. There's not
Cheaper.
like an adapting
Honestly, it
thing.
was like what 2 for 50, so it's roughly this.
Roughly,
cheaper.
yeah. Still cheaper, yeah.
Still
Cheaper in the moment, yes.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
can
salary
agree
is
with
probably
that.
cheaper too because he's younger. Maybe I'm assuming.
Yeah. Younger
Yeah.
with probably a bit more chance of an upside for sure.
Yeah.
He's
but
frozen
yeah.
out of the Ladies squad last I saw. So
maybe a bullet dodge there though too. Who
Maybe
knows?
then. Well, I mean, apparently we're getting him in the summer, so
maybe
Well,
maybe that's why.
we'll be back. You know, that's what they
Yeah,
said.
we're not done. We're not finished here yet.
We'll return
Yeah.
to the deal.
The scene is the crime.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me there. Big Joe Cares. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm not going to piggyback too much off what you guys said. I thought for like a cobbled together squad, this was up until it was 2-1, one of their better showings, and then it was 2-1, and I put in the group chat, oh my god, this is going to be an exact carbon copy of the game versus ABS, isn't it? And then it wasn't, thank God. We'll get to the causes in a minute. No big standouts to me besides the guys you mentioned. Obviously, Joe Carres was great. I do agree, Danny, with DeBas that he's been really good the last month or so. It's been nice to see him kind of flourish in that midfield role. And like you said, it looks like we're getting Hulman and Morita back in the next week or so, heading into an international break, which will probably be good. Some more guys will get rest.
I just
wouldn't be
realized I don't
opposed.
think it's that soon. Sorry, I remember he was walking off in crutches not that long ago. I think
Morita's closer than Hulman.
Morita's closer.
Yeah,
but
Hulman should be good
Hulman might
after
be a while.
by the end of the international break, which is fine because you only have
Hopefully.
like 1 or 2 more games before.
When was the crutches? The crutches was like
I think it was
A
the
week
first
ago.
Dortmund game, was it
it
not?
was the second Dortmund game, which was what 2
Was it the
weeks
second?
ago at this
Oh.
point. This weekend we'll make
Yeah.
it 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Depends how bad of a
so-
sprain it is.
Yeah.
So probably bad enough
Mhm.
where I doubt he gets a Denmark call up, which is fine by me in
Better.
this case.
You fucking better
not.
not.
Well, he
Better
probably
not.
will.
Honestly, nobody gets a call. Jenny, Kinda, Jenny too. You're not going to Mozambique. That's too long of a travel for right now.
brother, it's Portugal versus Denmark, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, you're right. Oh
Kenda,
shoot, you are
your
right.
Finch ass is staying home.
So
Jokeres,
what it will
stay
be
home.
will be Trincão, Kenda,
Inacio.
Humland,
And
Inacio,
Inacio.
and Rui Silva. 180 minutes, all of them.
Yeah. Buddy,
Now-
I think Roberto
That's
Martinez at this
crazy.
point will also throw in Ishgayu just
Just because he
just to fuck
can.
us over.
Just
He's
because
like,
he can.
you know what? I think I'm finally going to appreciate some of these players now.
Some of these boys.
Plot
Some of
is
these
finally gonna
lads.
get the call up and play this time around.
And then blow out his knee.
So
again.
yeah, bro, the 180 minutes to be played. Watch this be the one where they decide to discover the talents of Kenda. Truthfully, Kenda's been not
Illusion.
playing amazingly the last month.
So yeah.
So
Yeah,
it'd be great if he just didn't go at all. But
But
Yeah.
if he doesn't go to the seniors, he'll go to under 21.
true.
That's
Do they even
it.
have games? I don't know for
Hopefully
sure
not. Hopefully
because
not.
this is knockout for Nations League. So
this is the
does
the
everybody
extra
do the
quarterfinal round.
teams who don't have knockout, do they have friendly scheduled?
They probably do have friendly
Maybe.
scheduled out.
Or they
Yeah.
probably have some sort of under 21 qualifier too. They always play qualifiers.
Yeah,
they're
they're always
They usually play
qualifying,
around the
bro.
same time, right? So it wouldn't shock
They're
me.
always
if there's
qualifying.
There's always
I feel like they're
qualifiers.
always playing the Faroe Islands too.
Yeah,
Bro, I
facts.
swear to
They
God, they
play
play
them
like
so
It's always
much.
like
play
a
like
7-1
Faroe
win against those
Islands.
fucks too.
It's
Yeah,
like
I'm like,
Faroe
how, dude,
Islands
is
or
this just like?
Estonia.
Oh my God, they're always playing Faroe Islands. It's crazy.
It's one of them Nordic teams. It's like Faroe
Yeah.
Islands, Estonia, or Iceland. It's
Yeah.
those three. They
Yeah.
always seem to draw those dudes, and it's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I expect even when we get some midfielders back, I'm with you, Danny. I wouldn't be opposed if DeBost continues to potentially play in midfield, provided there's still cover at center back for him, obviously.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah,
Japan
he's been a
has
lot of
World
fun.
Cup qualifiers too.
Yeah, but I don't know if Morita will go to those
Probably
qualifiers.
will.
He
Hopefully
might.
not.
He's back on time from
but-
injury just for that, bro.
And
Yeah.
same as this Super Gina said,
Yeah.
yes, common ball.
We'll go
South
for
America has
CONMEBOL.
it as well. I'm actually not seeing any African games, which is
Surprising.
which is
Surprising, because I
chill.
would think they'd have something
Portugal
for...
U21 friendlies, bro. They're playing Romania in a friendly.
All right. Okay. So we
Alright.
can even if Canada doesn't
Canada,
get
90
called up,
minutes, bro.
we
90
can
minutes.
probably stop them from going. Hopefully.
Because it like doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It
Yeah.
means nothing. Like, it's a
Yeah.
friendly for the junior team. It means zero. It means zero. It could not mean less.
Oh fuck!
It could
There's
not mean
African
less.
games. Yo, there's African
There are
World
African
Cup
games?
qualifiers.
I was gonna say there's gotta be
Oh,
African games.
They
Like,
start at the
there's
weekend.
something.
The other games start in midweek. These only start on the weekends, but there is African games.
I was gonna
And,
say there's nothing for like AFCON qualifier, World Cup qualifier. There's got to be
Mm.
something.
That's Jenny, and that's
Oh, they're playing Algeria. That's a big game.
That's a big
Mozambique.
game. Ooh.
Who's
Mozambique.
playing Algeria?
Mozambique and Algeria are tied for first in the group right now.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
How about Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast is first in their group as well. They probably have 2 games. Yep.
To be fair, Ivory Coast has benched Diomande in the past, so hopefully.
Yeah, if he goes, he might not play. He might.
Belgium.
Continue.
Debas will Debas.
I expect
go
the boss
again.
will probably go to Belgium, especially with how he's
It's
been
just all,
playing.
so many guys are gonna go, bro.
Oh my
Also,
God.
all of our kids are gonna go to the U21s now because
Oh my God, this
Yeah,
team might
they've
come.
been
They're
balling.
gonna have to start playing Zubas and
They've
Paulinho.
been balling.
the
The
professor is probably gonna get the call up now. You know.
For sure.
Professor.
Well, Brito, if he's back
Yeah.
from injury,
Yeah.
probably.
Bro, they're gonna have to start putting like you and I in like midfield or something
I-
soon. Like that's what it's gonna get to.
I heard this on like one of the those like whatever they're called, like the CMTV things that my dad likes to watch with the Portuguese.
Oh, it's so the
people, like,
CMTV
analyzing
writers
soccer.
don't get paid enough.
They don't.
They
Like
don't.
the
One of the guys were saying like, so far it's all right because we're playing the U17s and U18s that can do. It's going to be a problem when we have to grab 14, 15-year-olds.
We have to get literal children. We have to get actual
That's
kids.
going to be a
Actual
huge
kids.
problem.
Like these guys are kids. We're gonna have to get actual kids soon.
Sporting D.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to call up
Close.
Ronaldo Jr.
Quaresma's kid has been balling out, bro.
Hop
I'm
out-
surprised if
hop
he-
out
he's
on
probably
the
gonna
wing.
call up
He's
soon.
been killing it for U12, I think.
Yeah, U12. Hop out at left wing real quick against Aruka away.
To
or
be
something.
fair, the Union put in a 15-year-old this weekend. So
They did.
True, yeah.
Hey,
This
Freddie
isn't your first time,
Freddie
bro.
Adu was 14 playing.
yeah,
in the
so I
MLS.
mean, fuck it, right?
And look at him now.
Put him in.
I don't know
I was
where he
gonna
is,
say
but I
something,
hope
but
he's
it
doing
might be
okay.
misinterpreted on the internet, so I won't.
Yeah.
You better avoid
You're
that.
good enough.
You better
you're young,
not say
you're
something.
good enough. You're old enough for some shit.
Yeah,
like
that's what our
I've
Slow
seen
down
that
there.
one that you said the tweet in the thing.
Slow down there, pal.
Slow
Back
down,
to this
FC.
game. I have nothing really to add to this game. Like I thought, well, we can get it more into the Kazus. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this. I'm gonna stop the screen share. Man of the match for you guys before we get to kind of the polemicas and the Kazus.
I'm gonna do this mainly off of longevity because I haven't been on the pod for a while, and I wanted to give him maybe like the last man of the match. But this one, I think he's deserving of it too. I'm gonna give it to the boss. I thought he was really
Okay.
good at this
This is
game.
deserved.
Yeah, Chris, how about you?
I'm gonna give it to Esgaio. You know,
All right.
the people's choice.
The people's champion.
A solid
you might
game.
say.
A solid game. A couple through balls. Take it.
I could give it to Jokeres. and I will. I'll give it to Jokeres.
Ignacio, I thought also played really well.
I
Shout
was
out to
gonna
Ignacio.
do Ignacio. I was like, no, I'll give
Yeah.
it to Jokeres.
200th game and scored a goal. We forgot to mention that
There
too.
were several candidates that
There's a
could
few
have
candidates.
earned
So we
it.
got a couple causes here. So this is the big one.
This
and
is the big one,
Kind of
the
kick.
penalty.
I'll kind of kick us off. It's a penalty. I think it's a penalty kick. I think a straight red is way too harsh for this, though. I don't know that that's a straight red card. I don't know, man.
Let me ask you this too as well, because
away.
there's been a lot of ruido from the rivals. And try not to laugh too loud when I ask you this question. Do you think there's a possibility that it's an offensive foul on Gyökeres? Biased aside, because we are the non-biased sport.
I mean, there's a lot. There is a lot of a wrestling match there, so I can kind of see where that comes from. That being said, I do think he does more to impede a scoring chance in general than Gyökeres fouling him. Like it's a race for the ball at the end of the day. They're going for it. I think it's more of a foul on the Estoril guy than on Gyökeres. I can see some of the argument for offensive foul on Gyökeres, but I think the Estoril guy is fouling him more, if that makes sense.
I agree.
And he still hits the ball with his hand. That was, by the way, one of the most calamitous breakaways I've seen in sports. It was just like he has the ball, then the defender catches up to him. Everybody falls over. He's around the keeper. And then the second portion of the breakaway happens in what feels like slow motion, but in real time, which is Gyökeres gets up, he dinks the ball to the net, and it's just trickling to the goal line. And then the keeper for Estoril just barely kind of powder puffs it away for a corner kick. And it was just so much just chaos in such a short amount of time. That's all I have to say on that.
I agree. I mean, clear handball. It's like which we've seen. If you watch football, you've seen this at least, where the defender is sliding, and even if his arm is behind them, and the cross comes in and it hits the hand, even if the attention's not there or not, bro, you call that it's a penalty. The red card is harsh, but I'm sure as Christian mentioned before the show, and I'm sure he's gonna mention it as well. It makes sense because he's the last man back as well. You're potentially impeding a goal scoring opportunity. I was cool if it wasn't called because I don't know this double penalization rule is the only rule I'm not too sure of because I was always under the impression that if you're calling a penalty, you can't call a red unless I guess it's something super aggressive.
Yeah,
but I don't know maybe if that rule's changed or not, but. That was what I was under the impression.
I think they hit him with the same rule that would be applied. Like, for example, it's obviously not as extreme as this, but it's in the same vein, right? When Suarez slapped the ball down,
right,
with his arm, right? He prevented a clear goal scoring opportunity through an intentional
use of his hand. Maybe not, obviously not as blatant.
Not as blatant, but at this point the net is open, right?
Yeah.
Gyökeres is running to get the ball and just tap it into empty net, and you kind of hit it away with your arm, right? So I think that is what it is. The combination of clear goal scoring opportunity and the fact that he's the last man back. So I tend to agree with the red card decision.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a foul on Gyökeres. It's just the coming together of bodies. I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even think Gyökeres sees this guy.
No, because he comes from. That's what I was going to say too. He comes from behind him, and he tries to body Gyökeres. He's just a tank, bro.
Because if he did see him, I don't think he would have rounded the goalkeeper to that side.
Yeah.
And then as he's rounding the goalkeeper to his right, that guy kind of comes up in his blind spot. And bodies come together, and he's a tank. He just kind of bounces off of him, falling down. Debatable whether or not he sticks his arm out there intentionally. And even with the handball, right? As you were saying before, I almost still thought Gyökeres was gonna score, but the handball just pushed it far enough out of his reach that he wasn't able to score. So a really, really hectic sequence. Estoril were pressing us prior to this. like, because they scored their goal of what, like 81 or something like that. So like
82 or 83.
So like,
Yeah.
85 through 90 was kind of sketchy, and then we get a break and this hecticness happens.
Mhm.
I think they got it right actually, for once, and it's a banger penalty.
He booed the hell out. He booed
top
that
left
ball like it owed
corner.
him money.
Yeah, no chance of saving that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that this is actually correct, and
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
long
fair.
story short, Varandas didn't pressure the
This
referees.
one to me went under the radar for a bit.
There's actually two of them too. I'll show you another picture of what happened to Team Count, but I thought this was a clear red from what we've been seeing throughout the league. If the criteria were the same,
Yeah.
I just
don't
don't get when, like, maybe it's like the guy in the VAR doesn't see them fast enough.
That's what I think it is.
So
That's
we
what I'm
can't
wondering.
call down to the referee to stop
like,
it
"Hey."
in time.
Yeah.
But like, it's just crazy how like some get called and can be so game determining, and some just kind of fly under the radar because they didn't see it fast enough. The ball went out, they restarted it. So even if you do see it now, it's too late because the ball's gone out and restarted again. So we can't even go back now, even if there is something, like, I don't know, or it's hectic.
Yeah. This one to me was.
I think actually
more
Loki got away
egregious.
with one today. A leg step.
Yeah.
And was only a yellow. Could have been a red.
On the Benfica game?
The Benfica Barcelona game, yeah.
Yeah,
this one to me was a bit more of an egregious, how'd you miss that? But like you said, Chris, maybe it's just a fact of they just the guys in the VAR booth didn't get there quick enough, and they're like, well, shoot, like enough times passed it, we can't really go back and say something about it. Like, it sucks. Because there wasn't really like enough of a pause in play for him to go and look at it and be like, oh yeah, like you should come see this. It just sucks because like you said, sometimes they get them and sometimes they miss them, and that's the frustrating part.
And speaking of missing them, let me also add, because I haven't seen this one on the Twitter sphere all that much.
I don't even know which one you're bringing up.
Missed another one, buddy.
I don't even remember this one. That's how under the radar this one went. Yeah, that's at least a yellow. Yeah, like, again.
But according to the rivals, we are conditioning that Varandas interview, which is disgraceful. I wasn't able to come on here to talk about it.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Conditioning the refs. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
Here's
my beef with the Portuguese refs, because you got me going now. I'm on a roll. If all of us are getting screwed, none of us are getting screwed. We can't all be getting screwed at the same time, because then no one's actually getting screwed. The refs just suck. They can't have an agenda against Benfica, Porto, and Sporting, or have an agenda for each team. Either they have an agenda for one, or they have an agenda for nobody. That's the point. They just suck.
I also just think the biggest thing is like the consistency, which I think we've all been talking about for years now, but it's been a thing that's been recently, at least in Rui Borges, because Ruben Amorim barely talked about refs. But at least Rui Borges has come out and said, like, the only thing I ask for is consistency. If it's a penalty today, it should always be a penalty. And he was referring to the penalty with Hulman that we could have even seen against Porto. The other thing we have to be also consistent. It's tough when it's fans involved and shit like that, because so much shit was said. I mean, posts from Benfica and Porto were said about our goal and the other cameras, but today, after Estoril scores, which to me is onside, and it's a Sporting Academy kid, Gonçalo Costa, who's had a great career so far outside of Sporting Portimonense. Now he's doing his thing at Estoril. Through the legs of Rui Silva, fecha as pernas, coração. But with that being said, nothing to complain about now, because it's against the big guys. And I get it to a certain degree, because I'm sort of the same way. If this happens against Benfica, maybe I'm complaining, but for Benfica, I'm complaining, but against Benfica, maybe I don't, or whatever. I just think that also just adds on to the noise, which just doesn't help out the refs whatsoever. But I mean, I think, do we have anything to complain about this goal? This is also.
I have zero to complain about this. I thought maybe initially, but no, he's on. He's fine.
It's one of those where you look at it, you're like, you're like, fuck,
You're
we
like, oh, maybe.
conceded.
Yeah.
Fuck, we conceded. Then you see the replay, like, oh, maybe it was maybe
Maybe
the
If
they'll come.
the PayPal transfer goes through in time, we're
Yeah,
good.
maybe they'll come through for us upstairs,
Yeah,
but I wasn't really expecting it.
But yeah, then you actually see it, and you're like, I don't know about that.
it'd be sick if they did, though.
It'd be a lot
Yeah.
cooler if you did, but like,
That
also, I don't know
outrage
that
would
you
be
will.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Back to
that's
back.
just
too,
it.
'cause
It's like
the
it'd be a
Gilby
lot.
Sound one was tough.
That's just it. It's like, hey, man, it'd be really sick if you did, but I don't know that you should. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of where I stand on those.
Oh, it was
situations.
87. It was a bit later than I thought it was.
Yeah,
honestly.
it was.
it
Well,
was
I think
pretty
this
late.
is. I don't
This
think that's
is
the
like a
exact
couple
timestamp of
minutes.
the goal.
It was
Yeah.
late, but it was early enough for us to worry. Like, oh no, are we gonna fuck this
no.
up right now?
It's probably like
That
85.
was exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was 83
Oh, yeah, I
or
think it was
84,
85,
85. It was
yeah.
something around there. It
Yeah.
was middle of the 80s. But yeah, it was enough for us to kind of go, oh, our timbers are kind of shivering a bit.
Yeah.
This is a little shaking
Which
a little
so
bit
far
here.
has been typical of Rui Bar's side. We'll even if we play well,
We'll make it
in the last
interesting.
minute we'll concede. You know, Porto could have happened against Gil Vicente.
We like to make
which
games
is like,
interesting.
yeah. So
That's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing else to add on the Kazus for this game. Like that's kind of it. I don't know if you guys have anything to add. If not, we have league predictions to get into, and somebody had themselves a decent little week.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Mr.
It could have been better. It could have been
Mr.
better.
Saldana.
It could have been better if they called that, as we were mentioning just now, that 5 centimeter fucking goal offside.
It would have been great if it stayed 2-1.
Then I would have, yeah, true.
Yeah, if it stayed 2-1 for me and Sam, we would.
I'm not gonna lie. I put this through like literally a minute before the game started.
Yeah.
I seen both you and Sam saying 2-1, and I was like,
I gotta be different.
At the 80, no, yeah, that too. But at the 80-something minute, I was like, oh fuck, if this stays 2-1, I'm fucked. Like all my hard work for what? For nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was 2-0 for the longest time too, and you had a goal score, so that would have been huge. But yeah, you still got it. So yeah, Danny makes away with the 2 Jokeres goals and the point for getting the result, not the exact scoreline. Poor showing from Chris there. But then Sam and I come in 2 points because we each had Jokeres with a goal, but we had 2-1. So we'll go up the table now. 66 points for me. Chris and Danny are now tied on points. As you see, Danny's gained some points on Chris this week. So now we got a little bit of a battle for second place. And then Sam's not too far behind, only at 43. So he's still kind of nipping at your heels a little bit, boys. But we do have predictions for our next game, which is, if I can get back down there in time. There's already 25 games in the league this season. Holy smokes, it's kind of flown by. To the game against Casa Pia away from home, if I'm not mistaken. Danny, I'll kick things off with you as you were the big winner last week. What are your predictions and why?
One, I forgot to mention earlier, we beat Estoril and they were unbeaten in 2025. That's huge. I was looking at Casa Pia's recent schedule, and they've been on fire at home. Shit away. They lost 1-0 to Guimarães at home. In Guimarães.
Yeah.
They beat Gil Vicente 1-0 at home. Lost to Moreirense 3-2 away. Beat Estoril 1-0.
The game against Guimarães is a shit house.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
They got Jose Font out there playing center back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But João Pereira, the real João Pereira, can you please stand up?
The real JP.
Yeah, and then like I said, or like Richard alluded to, Benfica 3-1 at home. So, with that being said, I'm still gonna go with a Sporting win, but I'm gonna do just a narrow 1-0.
Just a 1-0, eh?
We don't like scoring, and
it's
not gonna be the big guy.
Font locking up Jokeres?
For sure. Font is rolling back the clock, baby.
He's going back to
50-year-old
16.
He's rolling back the clock to 35 years old. You know,
he's so Euro 2016 Zephyr.
Yeah, facts.
Roughly.
Low-key, he was probably like 31, 32 at that time.
Yeah, he was like early 30s. We should settle down a bit.
Isn't young. I'm gonna go with the DeBast banger.
DeBast banger. Not a bad shoot. Chris, I'll move on to you. Who I've already put my predictions there. Everybody can see 3-2. I think a Jokeres brace with a Trincão goal. I'm waiting for. I know a Trincão goal is gonna hit sooner rather than later. I'm
gonna go 2-0.
It's coming.
2-0. All right. Yeah,
with Jokeres and tempted to go Jokeres ×2, but I'm gonna give myself slightly better odds. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Diamande.
Ooh, a little center back
I
goal.
think
Okay,
a
we've had a
Jokeres
couple.
×2 might be better odds, bro.
Oh, we've had a couple center back
I like
goals.
a
And
We're
Diamande.
getting on the set
center
piece
midfield,
action.
so we could
We are.
we could get something a little dirty off a set play. All right.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Supra Gino in the chat as well.
Shout out. So that's our league predictions. Danny, what's next up on the docket for the show?
So we all haven't forgotten and ignored our fantasy league. So let's just see how we are, right? Because like I said, we haven't
Tragic.
ignored it at all.
I'm afraid to look
Still
at
in first, fantasy football god. Who's the best around?
That's
Sam.
Sam. That's
And
Sam.
then you're
Hakuna Marita is
you're
me.
Hakuna Marita.
Yeah. Go to
Chris,
the
I can't
Twitter.
find you here.
Yeah, I know this. I hate this site.
I'm dead. Bro.
Go to the Twitter league, and that will be that's the league that we have a contest for, which we are cooking something up for.
Leagues. Damn, 15, baby.
Mitrosici is doing quite well. That was someone who I remember for a while back. Diamandes in the rough, AFC Richmond, FC 25, New to Cubset Liège.
Yeah.
We got some new names in here.
I
like Nuno Santos psychologist. I'm a big fan
Bento's
of
Beauties. He's back in the
Bento's
news today. I've seen he's UAE.
Also, Berinhas de Festa is a good name. This guy with the laundry list of teenagers
Tenho de limpar o slots do meu armário. I honestly think from here on out, Hakuna Morita has to be banned.
Yeah.
Like that name. The name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the relegation zone, bro.
Yeah,
Boost for St. Juice is a new Boost for St. Juice is a new one.
Boost for St. Juice.
And then we got more
XXX Tarnation. Fire.
And
But a lot of these guys. Oh no, start. Okay, never mind.
And then Pavlidl as well at the bottom. All right.
I think it's time for me to update here. Let's go through the teams here. I guess the three of us. I'll start with you here, Rich.
Yeah, I haven't.
Let's see if we even have any players still that.
It's gonna be tragic. But I got gone. Gone.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lameidas, I'm pretty sure left.
Yeah.
The wrongish guy, buddy.
The wrongish guy, man. I'm getting cooked.
Yeah.
Getting cooked out in these parts, dude. This is Sam.
Team here.
Yikes. Pavlidis, yikes. Man, we haven't forgotten about this team at all.
Yeah. We've been paying attention.
Yeah. It's so hard because they don't have an app on the phone, which is so hard. If we had a mobile app, we would be on top of things.
Boys, Thiago Machado has been gone since like game week 3. He's in France right now. I have Renato on my bench is embarrassing.
That's unbelievable.
Is embarrassing.
You got Felix, Belumi.
I'm pretty sure Boz's injured as well.
Boz's been hurt. Jenny's hurt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hate to see it, man.
They have him as a defender though. That's low key cheat code still.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we will have something for the winner of that league. We are in the process of kind of sorting out what you will get. But you will get something. So stick around. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Any news and notes? Any Modalidades update, actually, Chris? Do we have any? I know futsal won. I was watching the futsal game, actually.
Yeah, futsal won. Women's footy won.
B team won.
Handball tied, which I didn't know was a thing in handball.
Handball tied. And Kiko Costa's out for possibly, we don't know how long.
Yeah.
Could be the end of the season. So that's definitely a blow to our chances in Europe and even in the league. I mean, it's tied with Porto. We tied them, so everything stayed the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We have a big handball game tomorrow. I believe it's the last group stage game of Champions League. We're in second, so if we win, we'll get a bye to the quarterfinals. We're pretty much locked in on a round of 16, no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we can accomplish that. Yep, youth team did lose today, 3-2 to Stuttgart, and
Yeah,
are
tough game.
eliminated from the UEFA Youth League, which is tough at home. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
João Pereira, tough one for him.
We started off well. I think we were up in like the second.
Yeah,
They were up. They were up at one point.
Up early.
Yeah, and then they scored 2 before half. They made it 3-1 late. We scored even later.
We scored later, and then it was.
And then it was just not enough time left. Yep.
I actually got to watch the B team and the futsal this weekend for once. Which
Did
was
B
nice.
team tie or
I thought
no?
they won.
They won.
They won.
You're right. They won.
They lost last week or some shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, they won, and that was. I watched that in futsal.
I think we're still within a chat. I mean, I think it's still early in terms of us coming up. No, we're only like 2-3 games in.
I think
it's like
4 maybe.
4 games.
Yeah.
They're still. Yeah, they still got.
Still early.
They still got.
Still early, but it's not. I think it's not bad. I think it's 2-1-1 if I'm not mistaken. So
exactly.
It's not horrible. Yeah, there's games they gotta play. Other teams will play each other, take points off each other. So there's still hope for them. And then we know futsal Final Four for Champions League is coming up in the next little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. There's no real other news and notes that I can think of.
I only have one last thing before we close it off. Bruno Carvalho on my dad's favorite reality TV show nowadays, airing out dirty laundry, not naming players other than Bouloruz.
That's the only one. That was the only
said about Bouloruz now. Actually,
he's like international from I don't even fucking nowhere.
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
The Dutch international
played in a World Cup final.
Played for them at least 2 World Cups, and probably I think was on the team that made the World Cup final. Yeah.
Mind you, I'm saying all of this, Bruno. Feel free to come back and tell us more stories.
More stories.
I'd rather hear.
He still says it's still news though.
Yeah, exactly. It still gets headlines, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I watched all 9 minutes of that.
Yeah.
You watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
you're
I watched the whole thing also.
You guys are nuts.
Listen,
now.
I was watching them not that long, like yesterday or no, 2 days ago. I was at my parents' house. My dad loves reality TV right now in Portugal. My dad's obsessed with it. Brother, whatever this one is, he loves it, bro.
My dad is just Creo de Mignà on repeat.
It's crazy that he's into that and just happens to have Bruno Carvalho on it.
Yeah, exactly.
What channel is that on, Danny?
Seek?
I think it's like a specific. So I have it on the.
It's like a Seek reality, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. But there's like I think it's like a 24-hour channel or some shit like that, and there's like breaks in between.
Okay.
And then it's like I think it's like for like 8 hours or some shit like that. It plays, and then it's like
and then it's something else or a break
for them to shower, sleep, or some shit like that, and then it goes again. It's something like that.
It's very much like. I mean, I don't watch Big Brother, but like much. But I'm familiar with.
I don't even know the rules, to be honest.
I don't know the rules. We did when I worked at the hockey team. We had a Big Brother pool. I'm like, I don't know the rules of this game. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know the rules
to like the Bachelorette and shit like that, bro.
Yeah, I was like, y'all just want my money now. Like, take it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta add.
All right. Well, then we'll be back probably next week. Pre-international break show because that's coming up very soon. We'll talk about the Casapia game. When's the Tasa game actually against Rio?
It's the first week of April.
So
it's 2 legs also.
Yeah, that I remember, the stupid 2 legs. Okay, that I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure
if after the international break.
Okay. All right, so then we'll probably just have Casapia game next week and any other news and notes. Thank you for watching. This is a short one today, but we're going to take that. Just because there wasn't much going on in the world of sporting this week, shockingly. The rare but welcome quiet week in our lives. We'll take it. I've been Richard Neves. You can follow me down below as Danny is about to pull it up. Right there you go. Right there on X/Twitter/whatever. Make sure you follow Danny Saldana as well. Make sure you follow Chris. Follow Sam. He couldn't be here today, but give him a follow. And most importantly, anytime you want to get updates from us on when we're going live on new content, any rumors that we kind of throw around, all things Alvalade, AT Alvalade on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. If you've been joining us here on the live stream, thank you for coming in and showing some support. We appreciate it. Whether you're on the YouTube side, watching on Twitter, or wherever you're at, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Love, peace, and bacon grease. Cheers.
Nice.